Wow, they didn't erase us by accident. They erased us on purpose.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share because I was like, let's just dive a little bit into um, the history where this brother decided to share this thing about Catholicism and some other stage I was able to put up concerning slavery and how it came to be and how most of these, Pope and every other person supported it and decided to make it look like this is what the Lord has wanted for the Israelite people. Love this. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
Wow, they didn't erase us by accident. They erased us on purpose. Let's talk about the most slept on part of our religious history. Black Catholics in America. Yeah, we been here before slave ships hit the South and before white Protestantism ran the block. Black Catholics were already worshiping in places like Louisiana, Maryland, Florida, Haiti, the Caribbean. We came through the French and Spanish colonies, bringing the cross and the culture. Haiti, a Catholic nation. And guess what? The Haitian Revolution, the only successful slave revolt in the Western Hemisphere, was led by Black Catholics that mixed the gospel with ancestral power. But what happened? White Protestant supremacy took over. They pushed that slave obedience theology. They called our incense, our chants, our saints, witchcraft. They told us to forget the ancestors, forget the drums, forget the fire. In the Catholic Church, they didn't shield us. They segregated us. Told us we could pray, but only in the back. Told us we can serve, but not lead. So we left for Baptist, AME, and Pentecostal churches, where we could breathe again. Meanwhile, Catholicism got whitened. White Jesus, European saints, Irish and Italian gatekeeping, and Black Catholics got buried beneath the surface. But here's the truth. We never left. Over 3 million Black Catholics are still here. We're still praising, we're still praying, and we're still preserving. And Black Catholic saints like Moses the Black, Josephine Paquita, and Henriette DeLille, yeah, they're rising again. This ain't just about religion. This is about Black memory, Black spirituality, Black survival. They tried to whitewash our saints, y'all. Erase our rituals, make faith a tool of control. But Black spirituality doesn't die. It resurrects itself every single generation.
I want you to really hear me when I say this. The Catholic Church wasn't just sitting on the sidelines during the transatlantic slave trade. It was writing the permission slip. When I first started reading these papal bulls, I had to stop. Because they're not vague, they're not coded. They literally told Portugal, go, enslave, conquer. Non-Christians were fair game. That's the church in the 1400s. Greenlighting slavery on an industrial scale. And people want to act like it was just the kings and the merchants who did this. Like the church was reluctantly dragged along. No, the church gave it moral cover. It said God is on your side while you shackle people in your holes and steal them from their homelands. And it wasn't just Europe. I'm talking about Catholic priests writing with conquistadors, crossing oceans to save souls with one hand, while overseeing forced labor with the other, baptisms at sword point, encomienda systems that worked people to death, but called it civilizing them. Thing is, it was profitable. That's what people forgot. Those massive cathedrals in Latin America, the seminaries and monasteries in Brazil, built on enslaved labor. The church collected tithes from the plantation, blessed the trade routes, and baptized the slave ships. So when I see photos of those grand altars all gold and marble, I think, who paid for this? Like, not with money, with their lives, with their stolen children. Sure, there were priests who spoke out. There were always people in the church who knew that it was evil. But the institution, the Vatican, it didn't abolish anything. It hedged. It compromised. It stayed quiet while millions were taken. Even when abolition movements exploded in the 1800s, the church would issue these careful, qualified condemnations of unjust slavery. Like, what does that even mean? Which part was just? The chains? The auction blocks? The branding iron? Please. And let's talk about reparations. The church still holds lands, art, gold, wealth that was built on bodies. They'll apologize in statements. They'll talk about healing, but have they given any of it back? Opened all the archives? Funded reparations meaningfully? It's not enough to say sorry. It's enough to hold a mass atonement while you sit on stolen riches. Because here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud. The Catholic Church helped build the slave trade, blessed it, justified it, profited from it. You can't talk about faith, morality, salvation without talking about the chains that they helped forge. If you're going to talk about the church's history, you better talk about all of it. The prayers, the whips, the conversions at gunpoint, the gold. That's the real story, and it deserves to be told.
To say that Africans sold their own into slavery, but they never mention King Alfonso of Congo, who fought to end it. And they definitely don't talk about the Catholic Church green lighting slavery on an industrial scale. In the 1400s, the Catholic Church issued Papal bulls, official decrees from the Pope saying it was okay to enslave Africans. One of them, called Dum Diversas, literally gave Portugal the right to invade African lands and put people in perpetual servitude. We're not talking just a few ships. We're talking about a global green light, religious approval for the transatlantic slave trade. Then came King Alfonso of Congo, a Christian king who believed in partnership and peace. Initially, he was friends with the Portuguese. He even converted to Catholicism. The Portuguese helped him out by removing undesirable people from the Congo Empire. But then things got way out of hand when the Portuguese started to abduct people. King Alfonso of Congo wrote letters to Portugal begging them to stop what they were doing. He said, "Merchants are taking even nobles and the sons of our kingdom." But they didn't care. The church stayed silent, the trade grew, and millions of people were lost. This is the history that they never taught us. And Black AF history exposes the truth that they tried to erase. This book is on sale right now, and I'm not sure how long it's going to last because these tend to sell out real fast, so I'm going to drop the orange card down below. We're not letting them rewrite our story again. Grab your copy before it sells out.
Mother Teresa is probably one of the biggest arch enemies, because honestly that woman was evil. Okay, that woman was pure evil. She literally would let poor people suffer in pain, and when she got sick she was sent to the bougiest hospital in New York City or California, one of those two. But y'all, Mother Teresa was not who people portray her as, and honestly I feel like a lot of people need to know the truth about this, because that woman, like I said, diabolical. So yeah, Mother Teresa was born in 1910, and her life was dedicated to doing charity work. She went to India to help the poor, help the poorest of the poor and the sickest of the sick. I recommend everyone get this book, Black AF History. It's a really good resource for homeschool parents or even anyone that just wants to know more about American history. It's really interesting. She truly believed that pain was a blessing, and it was something that people should be grateful for. And if they went through painful situations or poverty or suffering, that her belief was that it was a blessing. So she would show up in hospices. There would be people that would be like literally in pain begging for medicine, and they would have the ability to give the medicine and she would deny it. She literally would watch them and pray and be like, God bless you. The money was not there. Like I said, the money was there to help them, but she didn't use the money to help them. And the creepy thing is, y'all, they would, instead of hiring real medical staff, she would have volunteers of churches and, you know, people come from churches to watch these poor people, take pictures of her sitting next to them and praying for them. And the creepy thing is, she knew what good care looked like. Like I said, when she got sick, her ass went right to the nicest, bougiest hospital she could find. And also, she took money from Charles Keaton, by the way, who stole from working class families. If she was during modern times, y'all, she would be a literal Trump supporter. Literal Trump supporter. I already know it. And then another thing is, she said one of the biggest evils in this whole world was abortion. Not greed from the wealthy, not murder of people in war. She went in front of everybody when she won the Nobel Peace Prize and said the greatest destroyer of peace is abortion, not genocide. Which, by the way, Palestinian genocide has been going on for centuries. She never mentioned that one time. And she, like I said, she won a Nobel Peace Prize. She preached obedience to her, women in the group. She literally, allegedly essayed girls, nuns. Yeah, there's a lot of people who come out and said that she was essaying them, young girls, 12, 13, 14, allegedly. Mother Teresa was not a saint, and people like to imagine that she was, and all these movies and documentaries portray her as this person who just was just a selfless, sweet, nun, but she really was not. She played the part really well, and the world applauded her for that, but honestly, she was not a great person at all, and a lot of people need to know the truth about how she really was as a person instead of the way she appeared to be on media. I recommend everybody get this book. Check it out. It is here on the TikTok shop, orange shopping cart. Make sure you guys like and share for more history content.
We are black Catholics. Just by me saying that triggers people. We are black Catholics. Of course, black evangelicals will think that you are lost and you need to be saved, all because of the fact that you told them that you're a black Catholic or you're Catholic in general. We are black Catholics. Of course, a black pope would be ideal for the Catholic Church. I totally agree with that. We are black Catholics. Of course, people will say that Catholicism is the white man's religion. Little do they know that there have been a handful of black Catholic saints that have been canonized. We're black Catholics. Of course, we're either going to sing gospel songs, Negro spirituals, and maybe some Gregorian chant at Mass. We are black Catholics. Of course, people will say the race of Jesus doesn't matter when you show them a picture of black Jesus. We are black Catholics. Of course, people will get upset when you show them a picture of black Jesus or black Mary on social media platforms, but then they don't have any issue with the other depictions of Jesus and Mary in the other ethnicities. We are black Catholics. Of course, it's okay for people to celebrate the Catholic faith in conjunction with their culture, but it's a problem when we celebrate the Catholic faith with our culture. We are black Catholics. Of course, we make up less than 5% of the Catholic population here in the U.S. We are black Catholics. Of course, there's going to be more Catholics in Africa than there would be here in America.
With the passing of Pope Francis, the Catholic Church faces a critical moment, and increasingly, it's black and global. I'm Uncle Sonari, your econ griot, and I'm here to dispel myths, add context, and spread joy. There are over 200 million black Catholics worldwide, and that number is growing. In the U.S., about 3 million African Americans identify as Roman Catholic, and many of those black folks trace their faith through Louisiana, the Caribbean, or African nations like Nigeria and Congo. Now, in Africa, the church is expanding rapidly. The continent now accounts for more than 20% of the global Catholic population, and projections suggest it could reach 40% by 2050. Now, this growth has led to an increase in African bishops and cardinals, with heightened Vatican interests in countries like Nigeria, Uganda, and the DRC. In the U.S., 1 in 5 newly ordained Catholic priests are African born. Now, that highlights the significant role that the African clergy play in the church's future. Now, as the church enters its new chapter, the future is being shaped by voices from Lagos to New Orleans. Anyway, for more information about the culture and the economy, give your Uncle Sonari a like, follow, and share, and check out my Substack, Vanilla is Black.
Like seriously, lovelies. When I saw this teaching, I was like someone like me. I told you guys I'm someone that actually is more invested in history, and I really want to learn. And I came across this Catholicism, and I got very interested and invested on it. I got to realize that um before slavery and colonization, I have been seeing this on some of the stitches, and which happens to be, the way at which history is told, it's a little bit complicated. I think they never told the real truth. They never ever told the real truth. You know, even before I started, investing more of my time to know most of these things, I actually heard that during slavery and all of that, some people were like majority people were taken from Africa and all of that. I never knew, though have known this right now, and I knew that, you know, people were really in the said land before slavery occurred. Like brown or black people have already been in existence all over the world. You know, they say that humanity actually started from Africa, right? You can just correct me if I am wrong. I'm still someone that is still learning. So due to where the historical thing that I've been hearing and all of that, how the first person that ever existed in the planet Earth was actually brown or black person, and now I also came to realize that black people or brown people or colored people have already been in existence all over the world, all over Europe, all over America, Africa, and all of that. Now, these people who were in the land before these European people came to colonize, we already having the way at which they serve and they praise God. They already have the way at which they worship, right? And now these people invented and tried to enforce, Christianity to everyone, and that's how the world um, was colonized. And I was actually meant to understand that most of these, what I call them, pope, bishops, and all of that, actually made people that looks like me, or you know, or ancestors who actually believe that them getting enslaved is the will of God. It is how it was supposed to be. That is how God has wanted it. Like the way at which they brainwashed them is just out of this world. I'm still trying to make more findings and try to get more educated on this, said topic. Because when I saw this, I was like, as a Catholic person myself, I really want to really get invested on it. That means some kind of bishop were like, oh, they have to even go as far as to sign to give an approval to enslave these people and make it look like that is the way at which God wanted it. They try as much as they can to wipe, to erase the the history of the people that was already living there. They brought religion, they brought everything. They even go as far as to use that. They get to Africa, colonized people, sold people, brought them over, including the ones that have been staying there. Each and every person there, these truths keep on popping. Before it was, oh, some athletic, some people were, enslaved back, but now it is given some people were already there. What does this tell you? This tell you that history is being tampered with. Not everything that we were being told or taught in school, even right now, they are refusing to teach this in schools. This is not the way at which it is. It actually takes someone who really want to invest more, learn more, to get to find the truth. And this is why you keep seeing them hiding and removing books from school libraries, because they don't want the truth to reveal itself. And since Putin opened it forth, and everyone is just saying that, I know that so many people already know that Jesus is a black person or Yeshua is a black person, but they just want you to believe what they want you to believe. It's so disappointing. But I thank God that at the end of the day, each and every person there, we are being taught, we are learning and unlearning. Anyway, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So, lovelies, if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. Please, and just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So, lovelies, if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.